my name is Jacqueline. I'm in 12th grade and I'll be teaching you how to divide polynomials. Now there are many ways to divide a polynomial, but I'll be teaching you something called long division. I'll give you an example of one with a remainder and one without. Let's start one without a remainder. So let's say you're given this. And of course, you're trying to find that quotient. So before you start dividing, look at any of the missing terms. And there really isn't any missing terms because when you ascend, it all goes in order. So then you write it down like normal. So x plus 3, x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay, so then think of this as multiplication. This term times another term would give you this term. So let's take it easy and start with the x. So you're missing, so what x times what would give you x squared? You're missing 1x, so it would be 1x. So because x times x would give you x squared. And again, you're trying to subtract. But now you're left with a 3. So what you have to do is multiply 3 times x, which would give you a positive 3x. You have to distribute that negative, so this in turn would cancel. And then this one would be a negative 3x. So a negative 2x minus a 3x would give you a negative 5x. You bring down that negative 15. And then you start again. So what is missing to become a negative 5x? You already have the x, so you're missing a negative 5. So a negative 5 times x would give you a negative 5x. And then again, you're trying to subtract. And now a 3 times a negative 5 would give you a negative 15. When you distribute this, it becomes positive, canceling it out, and this also becomes a positive, so you're left with a remainder of 0. So your answer would be x minus 5, and you could check this, if this is correct, by doing the square method, multiplying these two to get this number. Okay, let's start with one with a remainder. So let's say you're given and again, you're trying to find the quotient. And because this is a fraction, of course, you divide, and then you look at any of the missing terms. So between here, we see that you're missing an x squared. So you would write it down like this: 3x minus 2 would give you 9x cubed plus 0x squared minus x plus 3. Okay, so this term times another term would give you 9x cubed. So let's look at the x's. You're missing 2 x's to be cubed, so x 2. And you could really write it down or line it up with this one, x2. And now you're missing a 3 to become a 9, so 3x, which would mean that it would be a 9x 3. And again, you're trying to subtract, and now you look at the negative 2. Negative 2 times 3x squared would give you a negative 6x squared. Okay, and then you distribute that negative, so this in turn would cancel. This would become a plus 6x squared, and this wouldn't really mean anything, so you would bring down that x squared minus that x, and then you start again. So you have an x and you're missing another x, so it'd be an x. 3 times what would give you a 6? A 2. This would give you a 6. And then again, you're trying to subtract. And now you're left with that negative 2. So negative 2 times 2x would give you a negative 4x. You distribute that negative, which would in turn cancel. This one would become a positive. So 4x minus an x would give you a 3x. You bring down this 3. So how many times does 3x go into 3x? Once. So it would be 3x. Again, you're trying to subtract. And then negative 2 times 1 would give you a negative 2. You distribute. This would in turn cancel. This would become a 5. Now you're left with the remainder of 5. There isn't much difference except for writing it out. So 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 5, 3x minus 2. And that's how you do it with the remainder.